Hello kids, today we'll start with the second video of chapter 10 Respiration Organism, and in today's video we'll study in detail about our breathing process. Okay, we'll study in detail about your respiratory system. Okay, so we'll get started. Now coming to breathing. What is breathing? As we have already mentioned about breathing in the first video, isn't it? We have studied what is breathing in the first video. In this video, we will study in detail about the process of breathing. Okay. Now, breathing is a process which involves two steps. Step number one, you take in air. Okay. The process is what is called as inhalation. You are taking it into your body. Inhale, you are taking it inside your body. So, the air which is rich in oxygen is taken into your body during inhalation. And step number two is you will throw out the air, impure air, or the air which is rich in carbon dioxide. You call that process as exhalation. So, one is inhalation, the other one is exhalation. Okay. So, these are the two processes which are involved in breathing. One inhalation plus one exhalation. This is what is called as a breath. So, one breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. Clear? Now, the number of times we breathe per minute. In 1 minute, how many times you are breathing? If you want, you can find it out. Okay, you just sit relaxed. You just note the time and you breathe. Sit and breathe. A normal breath you take. Okay, and you count the number of times you are breathing. That is your breathing rate, and you can see that it's somewhere around 15 to 18 times per minute. So, a normal human being respires or breathes 15 to 18 times per minute. Now, your breathing rate will always be not stable, always it will not be this 15 to 18. It can sometimes increase, sometimes it can decrease also. Okay, now when will this breathing rate increase? Normally, when you do some physical activities. Okay, when you do some strenuous physical activities and all, your breathing rate increases. Now, why your breathing rate increases when you are doing a physical activity? Because when your body is undergoing a physical activity, you require more energy. From where will we get energy? We will get energy from cellular respiration. If cellular respiration has to happen in our body, definitely there should be oxygen. If oxygen should enter our body, then we should breathe. Okay, so breathing increases the oxygen supply in our body. This increased amount of oxygen can be utilized by your cell for doing cellular respiration. As a result of this, more energy is released in your body, and this extra energy can be used for doing all the different physical activities in your body. So, at the time of doing a physical activity, definitely your breathing rate will increase. Okay. Now, there are circumstances under which your breathing rate can decrease. Okay. One such example is when you are feeling drowsy, you are feeling sleepy, or sometimes when you are sleeping. Okay. What happens? During that time, your body is there, your cells are undergoing a period of rest. So, the physical activities of the cell is decreased. The amount of energy which is produced in a cell will also decrease. Thereby, our body requires only less oxygen during that time. So, definitely your breathing rate will decrease. So, hope this is clear. So, you understood what is breathing rate? The number of times you breathe per minute, or the number of inhalations and exhalation in 1 minute is what is called as breathing rate. So, you studied two cases. Case number one, where breathing rate increases. Case number two, when breathing rate decreases. When will your breathing rate increase? When you are doing some heavy physical exercises. Number two, when will your breathing rate decrease? When your body is undergoing a period of rest. So, hope this is clear. So, breathing section is okay for you? Yes. Now, we will directly move on to the human respiratory system. Through this human respiratory system only, using this respiratory system only, we are breathing actually. Okay, your respiratory system is located in the chest region of your body. This is the chest region, below your head and above your abdomen. In between your head and abdomen, you will be having your chest. Okay, so your chest will be having all the organs and all the different cells which are involved in the process of respiration. You call it as the human respiratory system. Now, the respiratory system starts from it starts from your nose. Okay, it's a part of your head only. So, it starts from your nose and it goes to your lungs. So, now we will see about the human respiratory system in detail. Now, look into this diagram all of you. Your respiratory system starts with your nose. You are having nostrils, openings in your nose. Through that nostril, air will be entering into your body. Okay, it will be entering into your nose. Inside your nose, you are having a cavity here. You call this cavity of your nose as the nasal cavity. It is seen somewhere below to your eyes in your face region. Okay, so the cavity of your nose, you call it as the nasal cavity. And what you call this cavity, the cavity of your mouth as, this is your oral cavity. Okay, this oral cavity is not included in respiratory system, but it is included in your digestive system only. But just to mention, that's all. So, the inside your nostril, through the nostril, the air will be entering and it will be going into your nasal cavity. The nasal cavity will go and open into a pharynx. Okay, so nasal cavity is number 1. Nasal cavity will go and open into a pharynx, that is the second part of your respiratory system. The pharynx will go and open into the next part called as the larynx. Larynx is otherwise called as your voice box. Okay, so the pharynx will go and open into your larynx. So larynx is number 3, the third part of your respiratory system. From the larynx start a tube called as trachea. Trachea is point number 4 or part number 4. Trachea is otherwise called as your windpipe. Windpipe. So clear? Then trachea will go and it will divide into 2. Okay, can you see a fork-like structure here? The trachea is going and dividing into 2 branches. You call these branches as bronchi. So bronchi is part number 5. 1 bronchi each will enter into your lungs. How many lungs we are having? We are having 2 lungs, one right and one left one. Okay, 1 bronchi will be entering into the right lung, the other bronchi will enter into your left lung. Inside the lung, observe when the bronchi reaches your lungs, inside the bronchi will divide into further tiny branches, you call them as bronchioles. So bronchiole is part number 6. Can you see the finer branches in both the lungs? So the branches of bronchi, you call them as the bronchioles. Now the bronchioles will go and end in small sacs or into small bag-like structures. Can you see small structures or small bulgings here? Can you see at the end of every bronchiole, observe the diagram carefully, you can see small bulges. You call them as alveoli, number 7. Alveoli or air sacs. Okay, it is in this alveoli where the exchange of gases between the lung and blood will occur. That is, oxygen from the lung is given into your blood. Similarly, carbon dioxide, which is a waste, is given from the blood to your lungs. Again, it happens in the alveoli region. Okay, so hope your respiratory system is clear. So your respiratory system is composed of 7 parts. We will tell it once more. So the first part, it starts with nostril. The nostril will go and enter into the nasal cavity. From there it reaches the pharynx. The next part of your respiratory system is the larynx or the voice box. From there a small tube will be starting. You call the tube as a windpipe or your trachea. The trachea will be dividing into 2 bronchi. The bronchi will be entering each lung. Inside the lung, the bronchi will be branching into finer branches. You call them as bronchioles. The bronchioles will go and end in air sacs called as alveoli. So these are the different parts of your human respiratory system. Okay, now during the process of breathing, what happens in your body? You will take air through your nose. Okay, so through all those parts, right from part number 1 till 7, this air will be passing. Okay, so from 1 to 7, that is a path of air during the process of inhalation. And when you are exhaling, what is happening? from 7 back to 1. Is that clear? So, from 1 to 7 during inhalation, from 7 back to 1 during exhalation. Hope it is clear. Now, we will see one more diagram, the same diagram, we will see it in a simplified form. So, when you are breathing in, the oxygen will be entering through your nose. From your nose, it will go to your nasal cavity. From there, it will travel through the pharynx, larynx and all, and it will reach the trachea. From there, it will go to the bronchi. Bronchi will be entering into your lung. Inside your lung, it will be branching into finer branches. You call them as the bronchioles. At the end of every bronchiole, you will have an air sac called as the alveoli. So, your air, the air which enter your lung will enter your nose will be finally reaching the alveoli. Okay, from the alveoli, the oxygen is given into your blood, and the blood will be giving the carbon dioxide back to the alveoli. What will happen to the carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide circulation, I will show it with red color. Okay, the carbon dioxide will be entering into the alveoli. From the alveoli, it will go to the bronchioles. From bronchiole, it will reach the bronchi. From bronchi, it will travel back through the trachea, and finally it will be expelled out of our body through the nose. So, the green color indicates oxygen, red color indicates carbon dioxide. So, hope it is clear. It is very easy. Okay. So, respiratory system is over. Now, next slide. Now, when we are respiring, we know the main gas which is required for us is oxygen itself. Oxygen is required for doing cellular respiration. But when we are breathing in, oxygen alone is not entering into our body. Along with this required gas oxygen, so many other particles in air will also be entering into our nose. You call them as foreign particles or unwanted particles. Okay, smoke can be there, dust particles may be there, pollen grains will be there, like this so many unwanted particles will be entering our nose. And inside our nose there are so many fine hair-like structures, there are so many fine hairs inside our nose. Okay, these hairs will prevent these foreign materials from entering into your nasal cavity. Okay, sometimes these particles will go through these hairs. The hair cannot prevent these unwanted particles. These unwanted foreign materials will reach your nasal cavity, and from there, there is every chance for them to enter into your respiratory system. So, what will happen inside your nasal cavity when they reach there, your body will be feeling irritation, and this irritation which is produced there will result in sneezing. Your body will sneeze. Okay, actually sneezing is an activity done by your body in order to throw away all the unwanted materials which has entered into your nasal cavity or into your respiratory system. So, it is a defense mechanism of our body. It is a simple defense mechanism of our body. So, you will be sneezing. Okay, now look into the slide. So many unwanted particles can enter into your nose through the air, and unwanted particles include smoke, dust, pollen, etc. Okay, normally they will get trapped in the hair, but sometimes what happens, they will pass the nasal cavity and it will cause irritations in the lining of your nasal cavity, and finally you will be sneezing. And children, when we sneeze, there is every chance that the germs which are there in our body can be transmitted from our body or from a diseased body to a healthy body through air or through these droplets which we sneeze. So, always you should use a handkerchief, or you have to cover your nose and mouth while you are sneezing, and this will prevent the germs from entering into a healthy body from your diseased body when you are having a disease. Okay, so it's always a good habit to close your nose and mouth while you are sneezing. Okay, yes. So with the sneezing topic is over. Now moving on to a small topic, smoking. Okay, smoking, as you all know, it's a very bad habit. As you have seen, smoking is injurious to health, isn't it? You might have seen this sentence everywhere. It's very much injurious to your health. Yes, because smoking will damage most of your internal organs. Okay, not alone the respiratory system is affected by smoking, but all other systems in your body, your stomach, your liver, your blood circulation, your brain's capacity to think, everything is disturbed by the process of smoking. or your internal organs are directly affected with the chemicals present in this cigarette. Okay, now we can right now we are dealing only with our respiratory system, because in this chapter we are studying about the human respiratory system. So, we will see about the two effects of the smoking on our respiratory organs. Okay, just see the first picture. This is the lungs. The first one of a smoker, the second of a healthy person. Just see the color and just note the difference. From this, it is very clearly evident that smoking will directly cause lung damage. Okay, so the first damage, it will directly cause damage to your lungs. The next thing, the next effect of smoking is lung cancer. Just observe these two diagrams. This is the lung of a healthy person, this is of a cancer patient. Okay, lung cancer. See, you can see so many cells. The cells, they are growing in an uncontrolled way inside the lungs. Here and there, you can see lumps of cells growing. Okay, you call this as lung cancer. So, these are the major effects of smoking. Major effects of smoking on our respiratory system. Other than this, there are so many other effects also. Okay, so with this slide we are coming to the end of today's video. Hope it was clear. Study well. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Bye.